has been built on the achievements of our graduates. So as you go forth, you carry the responsibility of preserving and advancing this legacy. So lead with integrity, innovate with boldness, and inspire with passion. As we reflect on the journey, I must take a moment to express heartfelt gratitude to the individuals and organizations who have made this program possible. First come to mind is Ms. Karen Foster, former Dean of the Faculty of Education, who served as the project coordinator. Your vision and leadership have been instrumental in shaping the success of this initiative. Dr. Michelle Meredith, head of the Department of Special Education and team leader of this program. Your passion and expertise have been a guiding light to all involved. To the team from the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, thank you for your generous sponsorship and belief in the transformative power of education. To the Caribbean Development Bank for generously providing the financial resource to fund this program. To the Special Education Unit of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, thank you for your role in identifying the dedicated teachers who have participated in this program. To Mrs. Mercedes Dean, University College Registrar, and your team, we are grateful for your meticulous work and tireless effort in supporting this program. Mr. Leroy Farron, Acting Dean in the Faculty of Education, thank you for your unwavering support and dedication. To the tutors and those administrative staff, technological support staff, your commitment behind the scenes have been invaluable in ensuring a smooth execution of this initiative. Together, your contributions have not only made this program a success, but also set the stage for a brighter future for special education. Graduates, today, as we celebrate your achievements, and tomorrow, the world will feel your impact. Go forth with confidence, for you are well equipped to transform the field of special education. The future of education is brighter because of you. Let us move forward with gratitude, purpose, and a shared commitment to creating a world where every learner is valued, empowered, and given the chance to thrive. Once again, congratulations to all and best wishes as you go and make your impact in this world. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We wish to thank our President Pinnock for bringing our welcome and his challenge for his speech. Before we move forward with the program, I'd just like to bring to your attention some apologies received from by members who were unable to be here today. The first apology comes from Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon, the Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. We also received apologies from Mr. Omar Sweeney, the Managing Director of Jamaica Social Investment Fund. But Mr. Sweeney is being represented by Mr. Orville Hill. We also express apologies from Dr. Isaac Solomon, VP Operations of the CDB, Caribbean Development Bank. And finally, the apology from our own VP Academic Affairs, Dr. Albert Benjamin. So we proceed with the program basically unannounced, but I just want to say that there are two sections where there are apologies, which I must extend apologies for our University College Choir. And so we'll be having one item following the remarks of Mr. Sweeney. So I now ask Mr. Sweeney to come and bring it. Sorry, Mr. Hill to bring. Mr. Sweeney is in my mess. But I apologize.
Good morning, morning. Well, as been stated, an apology for Mr. Sweeney, our Managing Director. My name is Orville Hill, and I'm the General Manager of Finance and Procurement at the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. So I represent Mr. Sweeney accordingly. So President of the Michael University College, Dr. Pinnock, the chaplain for Michael University, Reverend Bosworth Mullings, the Dean of Faculty of Education, Ms. Karen Foster, Mr. Alvin Lawson, and Mrs. Mercedes Dean, University Registrar, our guest speaker, past Executive Director of the Jamaica Association of the Deaf, Dr. Iris Suter, senior managers, social development specialists, the graduates for today and other representatives here. Again, a warm good morning to you on this Saturday morning as we approach the festive season. It is certainly an honor to stand before you today as we gather to celebrate a truly special moment in the lives of these remarkable persons, our graduates, who have completed their instructions training in special education. This is not just a ceremony, but it is really a commitment to passion and dedication to the extraordinary journey that each of you has embarked upon. As educators, you are not just teaching, you are shaping the lives of our young people. You have chosen to take on one of the most important and rewarding roles in our society, ensuring that our children, regardless of their challenges, can learn, can grow, and will succeed in life. Your work will leave a lasting impact, not just on the students that you teach and guide, but as teachers, you also impact the entire community as you advocate for inclusion, understanding, and respect. Now, through funding made available by the Caribbean Development Bank, through the Basic Needs Trust Fund, with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund as the implementing agency, $34 million was provided for a holistic intervention to support the Ministry of Education's effort in enhancing special education. This intervention addresses regulatory standards, governance and leadership structures, and of course, teaching capacity. With respect to teachers' capacity, your training, the General Introduction to Special Education Certificate, is one of two initiatives to equip teachers with the skill sets for an inclusive classroom. The training translates into over 4,000 students benefiting from your newly developed skills and expertise, ensuring that teachers are able to identify learning and behavioral difficulties, and of course then apply the evidence-based best practice assessment and treatment with the resources available within the ministry. Under the larger project, teachers' capacity was also built through training in literacy and numeracy using the Leader Mode Bell learning process, as well as the micro-diagnostic reading test scale. Government-operated special education initiatives are also equipped. Now, 10 electronic tablets were contributed to the Micro Care Center to assist in the speech therapy program, and literacy and numeracy aids were provided in the early stimulation program under the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. With respect to governance and leadership, we partner with the National Council for Education Leadership to execute the Inclusive School Leadership Training Program, targeting principals, members of school boards, and senior teachers. Additionally, we are in the process of developing a national standards for special education, which will be the benchmark to ensure all-around quality of special education. We therefore express thanks to the Caribbean Development Bank for its continued support and trust in JSIF to implement such far-reaching projects. We understand that as the landscapes develop changes, we must be flexible and responsive to the emerging needs and protection of those who are vulnerable. We have only been able to do this through partnership at all levels with donors, regulatory agencies, academia, private sector, and of course the communities. Through these partnerships, the BNTF over the past 5 cycles has actually inclusion for all, especially in the education system. So far, over $271 million has been pumped into special education programs for infrastructure development, training, and capacity building across Jamaica. We are seeing the impact of these projects, and we thank the Caribbean Development Bank once again. With all this said, there is no doubt that this project and the results from it is life-changing. Therefore, today, we celebrate not only your academic achievement, but the heart and soul you have dedicated to the vocation of teaching and extension, and by extension, special education learning. You have gained invaluable knowledge, skill, and insight that will guide you through the changes and triumphs that lie ahead. But beyond that, you have demonstrated resilience and an unwavering belief in the potential of every child. To the families and friends who have supported these graduates along the way, we extend our deepest gratitude. Your encouragement, love, and understanding have played a vital role in the success we celebrate today. Graduates, as you move forward, carry with you the knowledge that you have the power to change lives. For the Micro University College, you demonstrate excellence. Your demonstration of excellence continues to shine. Congratulations on your incredible achievement. We at JSIF are so proud of you, and we look forward to seeing all the amazing work that you will do in the years ahead. Thank you very much.
On your programs, you will see that the presenter, Ms. Karen Foster, will be giving an overview of the program. And Ms. Foster is not here in Jamaica, but she certainly will be here this morning. So she's coming in via Zoom to give a presentation on the program. So you may direct your attention to the screen. And is Ms. Foster on? Yes. But before she comes, I just thought that we should have a song. And so I sat there, I'm not a singer, but just to give you a taste of the Michael. And I'm not a Michael girl. Climb every mountain for of your lives, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every rainbow till you find your dream. And now we'll ask our dear to make an overview of the program.
She's here.
Just checking whether I'm being heard, as I'm not hearing anything at the moment. Am I being heard? I can't hear anything.
Yes.
Being possibly number one hear you.
Yes, no one's interfering.
This is Kimberly.
Oh, good morning. No one seems to hear. You're hearing me? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. President of the Micro University College, Dr. Asper Pinnock, Assistant Chief Education Officer at the Special Education Unit of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Ms. John Gale, University College Chaplain, Reverend Bosworth Munnings, Executive Director at the Jamaica Association for the Deaf, Dr. Iris Suter, University College Registrar, Mrs. Mercedes B., General Manager of Finance, Standards and Procurement at the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, Mr. Orville Hill, representing Mr. Omar Sweeney, Managing Director, Consultant with the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund, Ms. Samantha Chantrell, representing Vice President of Operations, Mr. Isaac Solomon, Acting Dean of the Faculty of Education, Mr. Leroy Ferrum, Project Team Lead and Department Head, Dr. Michelle Meredith, and her team of lecturers, administrative staff engaged in the project at Michael, support members of the JSIS team, graduates and their family members and well-wishers. Good morning. Every graduate here today should be applauded on reaching this incredible milestone. They braved significant challenges to complete their journey in an introductory special education program and embrace their future in special education. I will provide an overview of the program, its description, a reflection on the journey of the graduates, and a brief attempt to inspire the next steps of these graduates. Now let's take a look at the program description. On Thursday, May 9, 2024, the Michael University College participated in the contract signing ceremony with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund and its partners to strengthen the capacity of 30 selected in-service teachers, including those in primary education and the alternative pathways for secondary education classrooms. The program dubbed General Education to Special Education Certificate, abbreviated as GC2, under the Basic Needs Trust Fund Cycle 10, was the second such project over the past 8 years, in which the MICO successfully increased the competencies of selected in-service teachers who did not have a background in special education. This time, however, we developed a more robust program given the emerging needs and trends identified. The program was designed to enable the graduates to 1. Identify learning and behavioral differences which may indicate the need for special education intervention or services. 2. Apply instructional approaches, methodologies, strategies, and techniques to respond to learner diversity in the classroom. 3. Create a learning context that supports collaborative, engaging, and motivating learning experiences for more successful learning outcomes. 4. Apply evidence-based best practices for instructional planning, delivery, and assessment. And 5. Engage in self-reflective practices that will improve personal and professional growth and development through research, peer collaboration, and professional learning communities. To this end, we immersed the graduates in an intensive 6-course certificate program for 14 weeks with 45 hours of blended instruction for each course. These 6 core courses represented a condensed version of selected courses offered in our University of Jamaica accredited Bachelor of Education in Special Education program. These classes were marathon sessions, held on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and facilitated by 6 special education lecturers who have a cumulative 184-year time span in teacher training and development, research and publications, policy-related activities in special education, and disability studies, as well as affiliations at the national and international levels. Our graduates hailing from St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary were duly processed as students of the MICO, and course delivery was in alignment with the MICO's mission, vision, and core values of leadership and teamwork, service to others, academic excellence, and integrity. Now let's take a look at the reflection of these graduates' journey. The words of Butcher Banton is not an easy road and perfectly captures the journey. Owing to derailments beyond our control, the program started on August 10, 7 weeks later than originally planned. We should have been halfway through the program at that time. The looming demand of back to school did not help, but we practiced tenacity and resilience. After all, those are fundamental characteristics of every special education teacher. Our graduates use terms such as tedious, demanding, and rigorous to describe their experience, especially during the early weeks. The majority of the regally-tired graduates once doubted their abilities to succeed. as they were required to manage the extended contract hours and heavy course workload, alongside their teaching and familiar responsibilities, navigate unfamiliar concepts, and face the challenges posed by e-health, technology, and the weather systems, especially Hurricane Barry. Nevertheless, they are here today, ready and strong, as they sought assistance, demonstrated resilience with respect and humility, and participated in the established professional learning communities. And their lecturers activated support initiatives to guarantee success. At the end of the program, the graduate sentiments showed a dramatic shift as evident in some of their program evaluation statements. And I quote, "The selection of courses was valid and relevant to the right context of the classroom. The program drew more tenacity out of me than I thought I had. I'm grateful for the experience and the investment, and will use the information to make a difference in my school." And the cherry on top statement, which demonstrates a high curiosity level. "We are hoping there will be future access to follow-up workshops and capacity building activities." These statements are a testament to the strength, gratitude, motivation, and ambition of these graduates who have successfully demonstrated an understanding of 1, human development and the social, cultural, and psychological factors that impact the development of individuals with special educational needs. 2, the core content elements of special education in order to cultivate learning environments and experiences that foster cultural understanding, safety, and emotional well-being, and positive social interactions. 3, the issues in special education in the Jamaican society and other jurisdictions, and the legislative underpinnings that influence the field of special education. And 4, the professional standards of the Council of Exceptional Children and the University Council of Jamaica. The GSIC2 program helps the graduates to appreciate the message of renowned American special educator Rita Pearson, who said, "Every child deserves a champion, and adults will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can be." Graduates, the Faculty of Education salutes you and encourages you to maintain your professional learning communities as you continue to appreciate inclusivity and bond continually to improve your teaching competencies. We hope we have whetted your appetite for further competency development in the discipline of special education. Heartiest congratulations on your attainment of an accredited 18-credit certificate of completion in special education from the Michael University College. Go forth embracing the motto of the Michael. Do it with that night.
Dr. Iris Suter, OD, is a distinguished special educator, administrator, and lifelong advocate, dedicating to advancing the rights and opportunities
of persons with disabilities in Jamaica. With a career spanning over 4 decades, Dr. Suter has been instrumental in empowering the deaf community through her visionary leadership and unwavering commitment. Having served as Executive Officer of the Jamaica Initiative, Jamaica Association for the Deaf, for over 28 years, she has spearheaded transformative initiatives to enhance deaf education, evaluate deaf culture and language, and facilitate communications across the greater social integration, for greater social integration. Her impact extends beyond the Jamaica Association for Deaf. Dr. Suter is a founding member and long-standing chairperson for the Abilities Foundation, serving for over 30 years. She has also contributed significantly as vice chair for the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disability, playing a pivotal role in shaping the National Policy for Persons with Disability 2000 and the Disabilities Act 2014. Her work reflects a profound belief in the potential of deaf individuals to contribute meaningfully to national building. A committed Christian, Dr. Suter has consistently led programs for children and youth in partnership with her husband through their home church. Her legacy is one of compassion, resilience, and transformative change, inspiring generations to envision a more inclusive and equitable society for all. I present to you this morning Dr. Iris Suter.
I sat there listening to the introduction. I was tempted to look around to see who Iris Suter is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the invitation to be here to share in this awesome experience. I'm not going to list all the persons that need to be recognized on this special occasion. I would like to recognize everyone as a distinguished guest at this occasion. And I would like to focus my attention on the persons who have brought us here, our graduating team, class of graduates here. My brief words of encouragement are targeted at you. And you have embarked on this path of empowerment to transform your practice as educators with that vision of cultivating an inclusive education system. I was just fascinated with how the pieces of this program came together as we listened. When I'm going on a road trip to the country, I tend to read the signs along the way. We heard, as we listened, that you need to have a dream that will require all the love that you can give. We heard It is not an easy road. Some caution signs. We need to listen. I was invited to the special education field, as you have heard, over 40 years ago. It was an invitation, not a choice of mine. But when I reflect on the 40 years, I'll change not 1 minute of that experience. Because now when I look back, I recognize the awesome experience that I was called to. At the time when I was invited to special education, I had been prepared as a teacher of history. But my job, the job that I was called to, was to become a teacher in the school for the deaf. And as I look back, I can encapsulate my experience as one of an invitation to influence lives, one student at a time. And that's the learning that I've distilled from the 40 years. So you are starting this journey, and today you're being awarded a certificate. And that certificate aligns you with some key expectations. And my brief talk with you will be to highlight 4 of those expectations: passion, preparedness, perseverance, and a perceiver of potential. Let me start first with the expectation of passion. And you heard that word being used by almost each presenter so far. The signposts along that journey to the country, on our road trip to this place that we are not really fully familiar with just yet. And this first sign says, you can't fake it, you must live it. Because you see these little children that you're going to be impacting, they don't look at the surface. They look deep within, and they know what's in their heart. They feel it, they experience it. And so, if you are going to say, I am passionate about special education, you have to live it. And if you try to fake it, your students will know it. So, what is it we are living? A genuine concern and love for the best interest of each child that is put in your care. Commitment to give up your best at all times, not just on your good days. Consistency in your efforts, making each lesson count. You have to live what you believe. And so to make sure that you connect with this road sign of you can't fake it, you must live it, I want to share a quick story of a motorist navigating the roadways, and this individual is stopped by the police. So when the siren goes off to tell you to pull over to the soft shoulder, the driver is saying, no, what have I done? So as the officer pulls up beside her, officer, what did I do wrong? Ma'am, may I have your license and your documents for the car, please? He examines them. These are in order. But still protesting, she says, officer, what have I done wrong? Why have you pulled me over? He says, ma'am, as you negotiated the intersection, I noted your bumper sticker. It said, Christ is Lord of my life. But I also observed how you reacted to the motorist at the intersection, your harsh words, your impatience. I was sure the car was not being driven by the owner. Yes, I concluded this car was stolen, and that's the reason I stopped you. Your certificate that you'll receive today is like the motorist bumper sticker. Those looking on have expectations of your conduct in this field of special education. So to stay the course, you must be passionate about the mission, and you have to live it every day, not just some days. Let's look at our second expectation, preparedness. You have gone through this training course to be prepared for the journey ahead. And you have received some core principles and strategies to arm you for this journey. But you will need to adapt these for each child, not the class, and one lesson. Every child in the class will need individualized instruction. You now have to hone all of this knowledge that you have been given and the skills you have garnered in the process of training to respond to the needs of each child. And so it's a growth process that you are embarking on. To help you understand, let's think about baking a cake. When we first attempt to make a cake, we depend on the recipe, and we are following systematically all the instructions. But as we do it again and again, and we explore deeper, we understand the role of each ingredient in giving you the successful result, the beautiful cake, perfect texture, what have you. And along that journey of discovery and digging deep, you understand how to make substitutions. So you then discover that you can use flaxseed to substitute for the eggs for the person who can't have a cake that is made with eggs. And so your baking becomes a creative process. You're making the banana bread over and over again, but each time your approach is varied because you're responding to who you are baking the cake for. So it will be as you work to strengthen your practice as a special educator. Our third expectation of you, perseverance. There is no quick fix. That's the roadside. No quick fix for what your children who are developing typically. Because children who are developing typically, because a lot of the steps that and paces that children go through to demonstrate learning are all occurring up here. And so very often we don't stop to question what are those processes. Did you know that you need to be exposed to a concept 100 times? Not 10, not once, 100 times before it becomes fully integrated in your schema and ability to use it spontaneously. So, if we need 100 exposures, why are we expecting the kids after maybe once or twice to produce it for us? So, whenever we become impatient, remember what our needs are to learn. So then, consistency, providing multiple exposures, using alternative pathways in terms of the cognitive processing, multisensory strategies, all of the fancy things that Dr. Meredith and the team exposed you to. And never giving up. In other words, when the student has not produced what you expected, it's a challenge for you to go back and modify your recipe. Our fourth concept, we want you to be perceivers of potential. And here the focus is the potential in the student in front of you. Not the rest of the class at this time, this specific student. Too often we are blinded by what the student or the child cannot do, and we allow that to be a barrier. We are not workers on an assembly line. Each child is unique. Each child is one of God's masterpieces. Beauty is often hidden below the surface. And so we have to take time to know our students. A great learning experience for me is that I've been having as a grandmother of twin girls. Some people believe that twins mean that they do everything the same way. Not at all. When I look at those twin girls, I see some of grandpa's traits, some of grandma's traits, some of mommy's traits, some of their daddy's traits, and sometimes I have to say, why do they have to pick the weaknesses that we struggle with? And listening to their mom talk about how she's relating to those twins, she had shared a conversation of her asking them, when you're trying to read, what is your experience like? What's happening in your head? And Zana said, when she reads, she sees pictures in her mind. So she's seeing the word, but she's seeing also a picture that represents that word. And Zana says, no, that's not my experience. If I don't write the word 10, 15 times, I can't remember that word when we have our spelling test on a Friday morning. And so their mommy and daddy, they're recognizing, yes, we have twins, but they learn differently. And so in the way they relate with them to support them for homework and in sharing generally, they try to utilize that knowledge that they have gained from them. And so we too have to engage with each student to understand how they tick, what excites them, what connects them to what we are trying to relate to them. So rule number one here, be observant, be reflective. At the end of your day, just relive the day and capture the learning nuggets from that day. So your mandate. You have gone through the training. We're hoping that it has resulted in a different you. That you're not the same person that entered the course. But as a result of the experience, the knowledge shared with you, you're emerging as a different you. You are now going to live out the passionate, being that passionate teacher, being passionate about the mantra that every child can learn, and you're moving beyond mere words and recognizing what you need to do to make that statement a reality. You are embracing the expectation of being prepared for each lesson because you have to move from theory to practice. You are embracing the expectation of being, the expectation to be persevering in your task because there's no quick fix. You have to be steady and consistent. And you are embracing the expectation to be perceptive, to be able to see what no one else is observing in order to achieve your goal. Don't be blinded by the things the child can't do, but build on what they can do. So if you really believe every child can learn, then the problem lies not with the child, but rather our approach to facilitating learning. So, as instructed earlier, you're going to go out and make the difference, be the the teacher who brings out the best in every child. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sutton. Very inspiring. And now we move to that special section of the program where we give out awards. And so I'm asking the President, Dr. Pino, that at this time I ask you, the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Education, Mr. Leroy Ferron, will now come and present those candidates here who are qualified to receive academic awards certificates. So I'm going to invite Mr. Ferron to come, and the President will pose for a photograph with you, and then you will proceed along the aisle to my right and receive your awards at the back. Okay? So, Mr. President, we ask you.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive these persons present, those of our community whose names appear on our official list of graduates who have fulfilled the requirements of the University College for the award of Certificate, General Introduction to Special Education. Sir, please receive the following students. Cassandra Banks. Samantha Bennett Russell. Nadola Bernard Broderick. Carol Bethune. Angeline Bourne. Jacqueline Brown Campbell. Chexie Campbell. Vanicia Clark. Meletta Codlin Cameron. Colette Demetrius. Kadian Douglas. Kenisha Douglas. Ketania Farquharson. Nicola Henry Johnson. Angela Haywood. Patricia Mackenzie Keane. Sophia Moore. Maxine Morgan Mitchell. Kimberly Perry. Verona Richards Gray. Charmaine Sloss Christian. Rosina Ferguson Slater. Donique Smith White. Jade Tingling. Stacy Ann Titus. Delreen Walters Palmer. Lorraine Wilson Thomas. Mr. President, this ends the presentation of graduates for certificates from the Faculty of Education.
Those persons who students, graduates, who have so far received, you may have your seats now. And graduations are places where you get surprises and more prizes and surprises. And so you have gotten a prize that you had planned to get when you started. Am I correct? Right. But our JCIF collaborators have also another surprise, another prize. And so I just want everybody to sit down so that when JCIF comes, they come with a lot of hype. And so I'm looking forward to the prize that they're going to present. And I see where Mr. Hill, you are the bearer of good gifts. And so I'm going to ask you to come. And I need all of you to be seated so that you don't turn over when you hear the prize. So we thank you for coming, Mr. Hill, and give this award. Thank you. This was a state secret, so the prize presented by JCIF today, Jamaica Social Investment Fund, is for the top performer. Anybody have any idea who that is? Anyway, I know it's not me, and I love prizes, but maybe another time, Mr. Hill, one will present it to the mic. So the top performer within this group is Miss Jade Tingley. And I invite her to come. Thank you. Ms. Tinley, please don't go so far because she's going to speak on your behalf. And so I now invite you to the podium for you to give your speech on behalf of your other graduates. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, facilitators, fellow graduates, family, and friends. As Jamaicans, we have a saying, one poison family. Over the past 14 weeks, we have lived this truth. This course didn't just challenge us. It tested every ounce of our determination, patience, and stamina. And yet, here we are, stronger, wiser, and ready to make a difference. The energy was high when we first logged into that online orientation session. The idea of a certificate in general introduction to special education sounded exciting, especially since it was sponsored professional development. But somewhere around week 4, after the first few assignments, group discussions, and quizzes, many of us realized that this isn't going to be a walk in Emancipation Park. This was a full-blown sprint. With 6 courses packed into 14 weeks, we quickly learned that online learning does not mean easy learning. Saturdays were no joke. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we moved from one Zoom room to another, trying to keep our cameras on and our brains awake. By the time we closed our laptops, some of us were ready to collapse. We juggled jobs, family obligations, and this intense course, all while trying to keep up with weekly assignments, both graded and ungraded. By week 10, many of us wanted to throw in the towel, but because resilience is in our DNA, and there's always one group mate to remind us that the worst is behind us, we pressed on. One of the most eye-opening aspects of this journey was our visit to a special education facility. For many of us, that experience was transformative. Seeing students with a range of disabilities, from physical, learning, sensory, emotional, and behavioral, brought everything we learned into focus. It was no longer just about theories and strategies. It became personal. We saw the faces behind the labels and were reminded of why we chose this path and why this course was important. It was humbling, enlightening, and above all, motivating. While we're reflecting, let us not forget the 30 of us who started this course. By the end, 27 of us made it across the finish line. We saw challenges as hurdles and not barriers. Whether we were navigating breakout rooms, debating accommodations versus modifications, or grumbling about the program's intensity, we became a support system for each other. The bonds and professional learning communities we've built will carry us forward long after this course. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Jamaica Social Investment Fund and the Jamaica University College for offering this transformative course. Your investment in our growth as educators is a testament to your commitment to building a more inclusive and equitable education system in Jamaica. This opportunity has not only enriched our professional lives, but will also have a lasting impact on the lives of countless children we serve. Thank you for believing in us and empowering us to make a difference. To our amazing facilitators, our guides, mentors, and occasional drill sergeants, we owe you a debt of gratitude. Dr. Meredith was the steady pilot of the journey, even when the turbulence of assignments and deadlines threatened to rattle us, her calm guidance reassured us that clear skies and smooth landing were ahead on this GSEC flight. Dr. Osborne infused every session with her vibrant personality, using her creative avatars to turn lessons into memorable and engaging adventures. Miss Smith was our academic fitness coach, challenging us with weekly quizzes that kept our minds sharp and ready for the next hurdle. Mrs. Richards and Mrs. Mackenzie Morris were the cheerleaders we didn't know we needed. Always in our corner, pushing us to believe in ourselves and reminding us that success was in our grasp. And then there was Mrs. Stein, who had an almost supernatural ability to sense when we were distracted or looking for our devices. Just as we thought we could sneak a few moments of rest, we would hear her calling our names, pulling us back into full engagement and keeping us on our toes for every second of those 3-hour sessions. Thank you for your dedication, patience, and support. To our families, Your unwavering support made all the difference. As we bid farewell to those marathon Saturdays of online classes, we know you are all exhaling a collective sigh of relief. Thank you for enduring our grumpy study moods, tolerating our half-hearted attempts at meals, including the occasional burnt dinners, and picking up the slack when we were overwhelmed. Your patience, understanding, and love were the driving forces that kept us moving forward, even when the journey felt endless. We truly couldn't have done it without you. To my fellow graduates, this moment is not just a celebration of our achievement, but a call to action. Let us use what we have learned to create meaningful change in our classrooms and communities. As we reflect on this journey, remember that knowledge has no value unless we put it into practice. This course was never just about earning a certificate. It was about equipping ourselves to become champions for all students, especially those with special needs. With these tools, we are now empowered to advocate fiercely, innovate boldly, and include compassionately. Let's make our impact unforgettable. Congratulations, colleagues, on our hard-earned GSEC tool. We did it, not just as individuals, but as a united team, supporting and uplifting each other every step of the way. This milestone is a testament to our resilience, determination, and shared commitment to making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stingray. Mr. President, before he comes to close out this ceremony, just want to bring some matters for your attention. We're going to ask that the President will come and give his closing challenge, following before that, the Micro University song. Now this has been, a very special song to the Micro community, and so it's all in the back of your program. Those of you who know it, please ensure that you sing along with us. I think Mr. Lawson will be leading that with us. And then the President will, with his closing remarks, and declare the proceedings closed. But we're going to ask of you, the platform party will recess first. We are going to reverse order. So the platform party, followed by our academic and our specially invited guests or VIPs, then our students and their guests. So we are going out in that order. But I'm going to ask Mr. Suter, if you will permit me, that before the students leave, that we have a group photo. So please don't go out with the procession, students, just remain, and so that you can get your photograph and other officials with it. So I thank you and bless you for the rest of the day.
Could we stand for the University College song?
Just remember the names of our founders, honored all ever came and repair. Take them for models of passion and conduct, guide and inspire us throughout our career. Patience, endurance, unstinted devotion, passion and service for others their door. Never they yielded to forces opposing, saying not their word for the space of an hour. And we go forth from the walls of Michael, for to lead others as we have been led. See that we hold to ideals that are lofty, emulate Michael's illustrious steps. Onward forever, the children of the Michael, build them a monument shining and great. crowned with this vital decision. Trials, perplexities, trouble and pain. See that we lose not the hopes and the vision. Breathe not the spirit of Michael in vain. When for the future in faraway places, steadily time to our minds may restore. Voices familiar and friendly on faces, shall we not long for the Michael once more? With your mind, with your mind, with your mind, with your mind, with your mind. What your hands find to do, that's the way. With a will in your work and your play. With your mind, with your mind. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, all graduates, could you give him a hand, please? I charge you to remember the message by our guest speaker. Observe the milestones, observe the signs along the way, and ensure you remain great ambassadors for the Michael, but also for your profession. Therefore, as we depart today, I place the pronouncement of closure in this ceremony, and I wish you all the hope, peace, joy, and love during this special season of a wonderful day. Thank you.